Tanya Milano here, parent coach. Here to talk about cuddling and whether or not you value cuddling, if you snuggle yourself, and do your kids like to snuggle and cuddle? So all of this stuff, is it important to you? And I will say why it's important to everyone in just a minute. So parent coach, go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel. That's what's on the screen right now. Hit the bell so you get notified when I go live. I've been thinking a lot about this parent coach thing because, a lot of what I do is relationship coaching and not just parent coaching. So been thinking a lot about that. I have a lot of work to do with, as a family. I'm a sister. I have a lot of roles. So wife, sister, sister to male, sister to females, all of the different intricacies of those relationships. So I have worked with more people who are not parents than are parents at this point. So that title there is really funny. I'm thinking I probably could change my title on my YouTube channel. Anyway, I am here to talk about cuddling. So if that's interesting to you, even if you're not a parent, please stick around, is my point. I think there's a lot of energy going around today with the full moon coming up. My mind has been all over the place. So send myself some self-love for that, and let's get on with this. If you're not in my Facebook group, this is where we get into the details of self-care, mindfulness, how to be responsive in your relationships rather than reactive. So jump in my Facebook group if you're not already in there. Peruse the guide section. There are all kinds of resources in there on being a more connected human being in your relationships. Okay, let's get into this. I have a story first about this morning. So one of the reasons I enjoy entrepreneurship is because then I don't have to get up really, really early and do the things I like to do in the morning. I really need a morning routine to be pretty much connected to myself, because as I'll get into in a little bit, when I'm not feeling connected to myself, I have a very hard time connecting with other people. So this morning, I was up pretty dang early. I just really use that time though. Normally I'm like, beating myself up, whatever I'm telling myself, I got to go back to sleep or get up and do something. I really actually use this time to connect with myself. I do some stretching. And then I started thinking about the connection with Tanner and this cuddling, snuggling, and giving myself that time to really like ground my energy, to think about what I needed to do. And then the gratitude practice that I do as well led me to wanting to cuddle. So I waited till his alarm went off, and then I just went over and snuggled him. And he really, really craves cuddling. And as a child, I was told I didn't. So I took that on as reality, and it's not true. I've had to ask myself that over and over again. Is that belief about myself that I'm not a cuddly person true? And no, it's not. So anyway, I got into the cuddling for a little bit, and then we had to get up and get ready and all that. Next came getting my kids ready for school. So I had done what I needed to do to connect, to snuggle myself, basically, and also safe seat. And so the safe seat practice is that time where I connect to myself. And if you don't have a safe seat practice, follow the link in the description of the video. It's a free practice. It's a foundational practice for my coaching. And this is where we really send ourselves that love that we're wanting to receive. So if other people in my life want me to be cuddly, I have to give that to myself first, if it's a value to me. So I have to really sit with myself. And the safe seat practice, see, I'm putting my hands on my heart. This is part of the safe seat practice, hands on our heart. Really creating this loving space, wrapping ourselves in loving kindness. So before I get into the Taylor story, I want to tell you from Atlas of the Heart, Brene Brown, she if this is sounding really difficult to you, like sending some love to yourself, like cuddling yourself, one of the quotes that really stood out to me in her book: in our culture, we're quick to mistake knowing improving for confidence when they're actually a function of low self-worth. Fragile self-worth is the far enemy of grounded confidence. A fragile self-worth drives us to protect us at all costs. So the reason I'm reading this is because I see a lot of this in my coach and when I'm in the coaching seat. Really, really confident to come and to do this and to do the work to make the changes you want, to be more loving, to be more connected in your relationships. And yet when you get there to do the work, this fragile self-worth arises, and the safe seat practice is where we can really, really meet that energy, meet that part of us that really, really needs the love. And when it's not familiar, it can really feel dangerous. And that's why the safe seat practice and going through the practice with a coach is so valuable, because it does take time to develop self-worth, to develop confidence again in yourself. So I would love to work with you if this sounds like something you're wanting to do. In the description of this video is a link with my Calendly. You can set up a free chat and we can chat about the options for you and what you're looking for. Because the last thing in this book that stood out so much to me is our connection with others can only be as deep as our connection with ourselves. So if you are wanting to deepen your relationships in your life, you have to deepen the connection with yourself. It sounds really, really simple, like we know that, but if we haven't developed the skills at a younger age, it can take some time. And I want to say, that's why I was going to talk about getting my kids ready for school. So I want this deep connection with my kids. That's what I want. I want to cuddle with them. I want them to come to me when they need that. And for whatever reason, I stopped doing that with my parents at a certain age. I didn't feel emotionally safe doing that. And yes, we would hug. We were a huggy family. We would cuddle. But to go to them to feel emotional safety, to go to them to cry and to really be intimate, I held it back. There was something growing up that didn't feel safe. And so I want my kids to feel safe. And that means that I need to feel safe in myself. And when for getting ready for school this morning, like when I wake Taylor up, I know that she needs time. She needs time to wake up. She's got sensitive eyes. She said, like, close the door. She needs time to adjust her eyes. After I took that time this morning for myself, I was able to give. So after I received it for myself, I was able to give. And I went and I snuggled her for a few minutes, and I, kissed her, hugged her, all that stuff, which really, really doesn't happen on the days when I don't connect with myself first. There is this barrier that I feel, and I'm going into, it's time to get ready, get out of bed. Da, 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 da. That's my go-to. Um, and Brene Brown says, I'm here to get it right, not to be right. I love that because I want to get it right with my kids, not be right. So I don't want them to see me as like, or not see me, but I don't want them to feel the energy of I have all the answers. I want to get it right for my child. That's really hard to explain in a video, but that's enough for now. I will see you next time and have a great day and see you